na daily dose of. Okay, so we now dey take today tori for Punch and Vanguard newspaper. First story for Punch. Ajayi files suit to stop Aiyedati November 16 governorship election in Ondo State. Mr. Agboola Ajayi on Monday said he had filed a petition at the Ondo State Election Petition Tribunal against the victory of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. This development came 24 days after the governorship poll. The Independent National Electoral Commission declared Governor Aiyedatiwa of the All Progressive Congress winner of the election, having polled a total of 366,781 votes to defeat his closest rival. Ajayi scored a total vote of 117,845 votes. So, Stephen, what is your thoughts on this?
Well, it's an election that has been proven already. If the judge has decided that Aiyedatiwa is the if the election said Aiyedatiwa is the rightful person to mount that seat as the governor of Ondo State, I think it's normal for the opposition party to come outside and say, okay, oh, you need to go to court that this person is not the actual, giving 20 days ultimatum before you then sworn in. So we check after the 20 days investigation. If the court comes out and say Ajayi is the rightful person to be sworn in as the governor, then it's fine. Because Nigerian politics don't
Yeah,
carry my
every election could be rigged. According to Ajayi feels like the election was being sold, like the people in Ondo State actually sold their votes for Aiyedatiwa to become their governor. And I don't think that is any kind of ringing election there. If the people decided that they want to sell their votes for whoever that is holding the highest money, and then that is their own choice. They might receive 2,000 or 5,000, and then they have to suffer it for the next 8 years.
That's
So
Nigeria.
it's just have to make the right choices. Going to court for or suing him for whatsoever, I don't think there's anything that there is no ringing election there. Yours is like it feels like the people of Ondo State actually saw their votes for just because they feels like this is the person that has the biggest money. So Nigerian, they can't do without. Whatever they are going to do, at least hold some money. Make sure your money is bigger than the opponent, so that you can have enough of votes. So going to court is going to feel like maybe a wastage. Let me just say it's going to be a wastage because it don't feel like it's being ringed. It just feels like it's a miscarriage or a murder case that happened in the court, but it's not a ring.
Okay, moving on. Kenyamo, FCCPC differs on Air Peace Plus. The Minister for Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, and the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission have expressed different views over an ongoing investigation against Air Peace by the FCCPC. While the minister described as careless, the FCCPC statement on consumer complaints bordering on alleged exploitation and customer rights violation by the airline. The agency insisted that it was working within its mandate. The agency recently announced that it was investigating widespread consumer complaints bordering on alleged exploitation and consumer rights violation in the banking, telecoms, and airpeace for the aviation sectors.
Well, there's a whole lot of that is going on in Nigerian airports. Why some people make complain and all that. Imagine taking a flight from here down to Lagos, and then you're being charged over 200 to 300,000 naira just because you want. The people are the road is not safe enough, and
It's
people
not
that
even about the money. Now is the way these people are attending to the customers.
in
The way
fact,
they do.
that is still part of it that people are actually voicing out, and then there's a whole lot of kind of how will I say conspiracy that is going on about the airpiece Nigeria that it feels like it's not
Exploitation,
is
human rights violation.
is not real. That this thing is just a scam for Nigeria, and talking about the expectation that that has to come, because when you whatever you're going to be purchasing, you expect a maximum attention from the staff that is there. But some people will be on the flight and then they are being offered a cream cracker biscuit with with water, with bottled water. That is when you're going to be taking the economic or whatever flight that you're paying for. So it's just something that Nigeria needed to bottle up about. It's really, really bothering.
So the issue is that Nigerians don't understand the meaning of hospitality, because if they understand the meaning of hospitality, they should know that someone spending money for a service, you have to give the person a full 100% service to it. There was this documentary held by John Carey. Is it John Carey or what? This American guy? He's known for investigating aircraft and how that's just his own adventure for investigating aircraft. If he came down to Nigeria, he found out that Nigerians air hostess are not even they don't even have they don't have that training, because when you get into an aircraft, that there's a way you attend to customers, there's a way you attend to them, make them feel
Homely.
Comfortable.
make them feel like like they have more reasons to come back there next time.
Yeah.
Because the man also complained about when the air hostess served him food, he gave him the food, he didn't open the tray. Just imagine giving someone a tray of food to hold. It's the same person you give food, the same person that is going to throw the tray down to put. He complained about so many things. If Nigerian air companies, the air flight, the
Aerospace.
air hostess, starting from even the air hostess down to the authorities, there's always complaint about everything. Talkers of when you even come down from the plane and you want to pick your luggage. Let's not even talk about missing luggage. Talk about so many things that happen in the airport. We really need to work upon that too.
We have a whole lot of lazy Nigerian in Nigeria.
They don't understand that.
There's a whole lot of lazy Nigerian in
If
Nigeria.
you compare, they will tell you low.
Yeah, no,
That's something that pays me a lot. Your one naira, your one kobo is very, very important. Since you are giving it out to render a
that's you are
service.
being sacked from that work. Like you be able to say no way.
That's serious.
Okay, moving on. 3,270 Nigerians gained American citizenship while military service, says US. Nigeria has ranked fourth among countries whose citizens were granted US citizenship through military neutralization between 2020 and 2024. During the period under review, the United States neutralized over 52,000 military service members across different countries, according to the data obtained from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service on Monday. 3,270 Nigeria-born service members were granted U.S. citizenship, trailing only the Philippines 5,630 and Jamaica 5,420 and Mexico with 3,670.
Yeah, it's actually a whole lot. How will I even say it? So, that Nigeria will find any routine to give opportunity to it. Those militaries of a stuff, it's an opportunity to most of the country that are actually applying for it. Those that just feels like they wanted to go into it. While Nigeria, on the other hand, they just feels like they wanted to escape the hardship in Nigeria and just to make sure that they have something better off to eat. You know, the military in US is way different from the one in Nigeria and all that. So this form, yeah, I think it's something that they bring out every year, and then they have to recruit people into the military and all that.
But wait, I feel it's a two-way thing to so many people, because me, if you advise me, if joining the military is the last option to me, and you give me two options to join Nigerian military as a lieutenant, or to join the US military as a sergeant, I would prefer going to the US to join as a sergeant, because I know the kind of privilege I'm going to get there. They pay the allowance, when time due, the kind of hospitality they give to the US Army is complete. No, it's far away from the way the kind of hospitality they give to Nigerians. They will just take you, send you to the bush without
Anything.
anything, just go there. Even
They have this. They have
when,
this.
you go
Because
for
if there
when
is
you
a
go for
failure
rescue,
public design,
when you
there's
go for
violence.
rescue mission against before Nigerian army come for rescue mission, you
You
take
go pay.
24 hours. But this one,
If they are going for war, they had to pack them this MRS for everything that they needed for that day is going to be in it. There was someone that actually lost in this Nigerian military about when he went out to go and get a food. Imagine he has these MRS with him, and then he doesn't need to go out and search for food in the middle of Sambisa forest and where he was fighting terrorists, and then he has to come back. Anything can happen within that moment, and before he comes back, they have already implanted a bomb there. That is what took his life. So
there is this study that the soldiers do, study of armory. Nigerians they don't do it. Most of Nigerian soldiers don't know. They don't know. If you call a Nigerian soldier now, give me 10 names of guns. Nigerian soldiers don't know. The only one they know is what they give them. They are going to fight. You will see. You will see.
we are not wearing
You see when a US soldier. You give a US soldier. You just pieces AK-47 for a US soldier on the table like this. He's going to assemble everything to the last grain. But it's very hard to see to call a Nigerian soldier, assemble a gun. You take it 30 minutes to assemble it. In Nigerian soldier, American they will assemble a gun in the president within 5 minutes.
So when they don't even teach them
I don't think they teach them that they understand. When a soldier, when an American soldier packs his or her bag, the way they pieces the guns inside, they'll be the one to assemble it. But for this country,
even the uniform, even the uniform that is being given to the uniform that is being given to us here is well, everybody has its own opportunities though. We make a choice for it.
body of Nigeria. Okay, moving on. Nigerian debt profile. Boarding for current next generations, says Obasanjo. Former President Olusegun Obasanjo has described Nigeria's growing debt profile as a significant burden for both present and future generations. Speaking during a Zoom interactive program tagged Boiling Point Arena on Sunday, Obasanjo expressed concern over the nation's rising debt profile. Nigeria debt has surged by 12.6 trillion naira in 3 months, reaching 134.3 trillion naira by the end of the second quarter of 2024. This marked a 10.35% increase from the 121.7 trillion naira recorded in the first quarter of the year. Nigeria, my country. Debt, front and back.
Yeah, it's how will I even say it? Him coming out to actually say it. The last time he says in the statement that he actually make a pardon for Nigerian debt before he leaves it. And then now, during the space of that till now, it's just as if that Nigeria is keep borrowing and borrowing more, and then those borrowing that they are borrowing is not being used to achieve anything. The infrastructure and is still the same level or even lower than the way it used to be before. The cost of living is now so expensive that even a layman cannot even afford it. My question is, what are they using all this money for? 130 something trillion naira. That is why. What for?
That's Nigeria for you.
God.
Stephen,
well,
I'm
I'm proud of Nigerian issue. I don't
You're
just
speechless. Speechless.
Okay, moving on. Someone who opens Ifako Road Bridge.
Yeah, he's actually doing it. It's not just that Ipako Road. He did it to this Alapere side, and then the bridge was not there yesterday that everything was. That was actually a good one though. But the most important thing that needs to be done in that Lagos is that Lagos is a boom. Like when they say it's booming to the point that every environmental needed to be taken serious. Well, if they come into an estate and then they wanted to pack the refuge and all that, you won't even be able to stay in your room. That thing needed to take so much into seriousness. There's if you can't Lagos traffic is like you spend an hour in Lagos traffic from say junction, like you want to go to a place on a normal day when there is no traffic, you spend at least 10 minutes to where you're going. But if there is traffic, you can actually stay in that place for complete 1 hour, 2 hours. Building this thing is just that easing the traffic so that there can be enough of routine, but at the same time I expect that there should be a hygiene that is like is up to date. Like Lagos should be on under hygiene so that all these gutters and smelly marketplace should just be cleared up once and for all. Please, you should take it to work. It's what.
Well, well, I will congratulate the Lagos State Government Sanwo-Olu for opening a bridge. Because one, Lagos and traffic is at least it will ease the traffic a little bit. Normal routes like car or vehicle should be able to
The
pass on
traffic in Lagos is mad.
apart from opening this bridge, because most of people in Nigeria and Lagos State don't have where to sleep. Now under bridge they sleep. Now that you've opened this bridge, now fine, it's a good step, but with the overpopulation of Lagos State, I think we should think more apart from opening bridge and doing this. We should start thinking about housing. Start thinking, it's the good work that has done the bridge. Now I think we should start looking about the housing issue,
The housing issue
because
is expensive.
housing in Lagos State is expensive. Most people that even have where they live,
And
but
the
at the end
other
of
one
the day
is
now
about
they
this
have to sleep in the
agents.
bridge.
These
So
agents needed to be cautious as well because you can't tell me that you wanted to rent a house and then you're collecting 50% with the landlord. Like it's going to be 50-50. Agents collecting 50 and then the landlord collecting 50. It's going to be okay. If you're going to be paying 200,000 naira for a house now, the agent says everything is going to be 400,000 naira with total package. Like how? That needs to be cautioned. Like seriously.
God help us in this Nigeria. Okay, moving on to top story from Vanguard newspaper. Inflationary pressures impact business operations in November. Sustained rise in inflation rates has stagnated business operations in Nigeria, with the Purchasing Manager Index (PMI) still below 50.0 points reading. PMI track operating environment of businesses, which lead to improvement or otherwise in business performance. PMI reading above 50.0 signal an improvement in business condition for the previous month, while reading below 50.0 show a deterioration. According to the Stanbic IBTC PMI report released yesterday, though there were some signs of improvement midway through the final quarter of the year. Factors bordering on rising price of goods and unemployment have combined to suppress the PMI in November.
This thing was explained. Was it not last week where we talk about this in inflationary pressure on businesses? It's not just that alone. A whole lot of things that is actually affecting in Nigeria that is not being attended to by the
Yeah.
leaders is something that leaders to be cautioned around. Imagine buying something for like 200,000 and then you wanted to resell it. Both the tax that is being loaded on you, the transportation and all that. If you come back, you are going to increase the price. If you have so much sympathy on other people, you can actually just say that okay, I didn't spend. Let me just make it 150 or 200,000 to get what I need. Businesses that don't even want it to, they are spending too much on petroleum. They are spending too much on how will I even say it on transportation and all that. Spending too much on telecom communication and all that because they needed to make a customer call and using data and all those things are something that needed to be looked out on. NEPA bills is there, tax is there, and the price of things will keep on increasing if all those things is not tackled on time.
The inflation is not it's not something new in the country. The government are seeing it, the masses are also seeing it. Inflation price in business now it has really awakened so many people, because you have a goods in your shop or in your business, you can't sell it because the
Yes.
kind of price you have to put to it. But when you go out to get this thing, you get them in a higher price. You as a retailer, you look at, okay, how much do I sell this thing? Oh? It's already on the high side, and you want to sell it. You need to put your own gain as a business person, and the consumers are they don't have much, they can't afford it. So your goods will just be there. So it's really affecting the economy, I tell you.
Some people are closing down their factory. There was this time I saw in Lagos State why they were destroying some pure water factories and all that. They have to call on the Lagos State NAFDAC, and then the NAFDAC says that they don't have EFCC. The EFCC says they don't know anything about it. They call the NAFDAC says that they don't know anything about it. Like, how? Those people invested money into this thing, and then the two people that feels like okay, those thing has actually is now saying that they didn't know anything. Like, how come is that possible? Now those goods that is being destroyed just went into waste, and then they use a whole lot of resources just to put this thing together. Oh, Nigeria, we need to do a whole lot of
Okay,
better
moving on
things.
to the next. Ebonyi governor father who married 30 wives has 108 children becomes king. The father of Ebonyi State Governor Chief Ezekiel Nyewufuru, who has 30 wives, has been coronated the traditional of ruler Agbaja Autonomous Community in Izzi local government area of the state. It was gathered that it was gathered that Ezekiel married 30 wives before those who could not bear children left the marriage. There are now 17 wives currently living with Ezekiel. 30 wives, only 8 children. That is economy.
This is something. No, it's not just about him alone. There are still other people
Yeah,
that has that amount of children, and so now if those children started having grandchildren, you know the global economic. Let me just say, Nigeria economic right now cannot even feels like it's going to sustain like 400 million people in the nearest future, and then there are still going to be more people that are planning to have children. If care is not taken, more people are still going to come out, and then they feel like they wanted to have more children. This one is not even the matter of hyping up, saying that this man has done well. Oh. Okay, now him becoming king, the burden is now on the community. They are going to be like the king need this, the king need that. They needed to supply. Nigeria, we need to slow down the way of production in this. Instead of producing more.
108 children.
And the funniest part, the production of children, like let me say the kids that they keep betting is not, they are not training, the educational system is not training them into the right way they have to go. If you're going to look at the way they train their children into the technology, the AI system and all that, using all that, those ones they are going to grow up. If you see them started talking in tongue, you are going to be like, oh well, the Lord has called my child. And then you can imagine that kind of a thing. He needed to focus more. I saw one yesterday that the 6 years old girl was in the kitchen cooking and then all that. You need to see the hype and all that. Like, this is that, thank you for that is not just the only thing we are going to be eating. The food is getting expensive. There is nothing being
Stephen, what do you have to say?
108 children. Oh my god.
I don't think I should be talking about another person's children. How many wives do you have? The children of this country has passed us.
Like seriously.
For him to decide to marry 30 wives, he knows the capability. He knows that he knows his pocket also. And now he's a king. He can cater for all of them.
On people's budget.
His son is actually doing
And now, okay. Moving on to what is trending. Fidelity may risk spending Christmas and New Year in jail as the second lawyer provides an update. Like, this is the second time.
I think it's still because of their Bonner boy and then the stuff that they are still having. Because they says immediately he landed in Nigeria, that is when the police took him after a show in. But I don't understand. He has still been there for some days now, and he hasn't been released. That is not supposed to be. Another person of they oppress because if it is going to be Bonner boy, I can bet with my left pocket that he can't do that in outside country. He can't do that outside Nigeria. Like, he can't dare it. He's going to face the consequences and face the law for it. You can't be oppressing. There was this time that Bonner boy tweeted something that when your opponent is lower than you, you can oppress them. Like, That word alone, but people did not take it serious. They feel like, Odogu has speaking, no, Odogu this, Odogu. And when Nigeria, our township is just nothing. Our
Well,
township.
spindality, everybody knows spindality to someone that is very, very lousy.
Even at that,
It doesn't think before we talk sometimes. Well, I will say it deserve what it's getting more. I think the government we need to investigate more. It's not about one person bullying the other. If I don't have my own, I've not concluded on the fact that it's Bona Boy, but whatever you have not come outside to say it's one that arrested me. So even the police have not come out to say, okay, this is that it is offense, this is why he's been arrested. I think the arrest and legal arrest because nobody saying anything about it. It's just people that are trying to advocate for solidarity that are being
they said
not
he was re-detained again after the border boy issue.
that was putting the stuff into the social media, making people know that